Aloha friends, welcome to Moonday Messages with Shamansi. Thank you all so much for being here and joining me on this lovely day. All right, so I tapped in already and it didn't surprise me what started to come through. There is a big shift that is happening with humanity right now, on so many levels. And because of that shift, we really are getting to that space that that's, I guess some in the past may have called it a choice that would need to be made, whether you were going to surrender to a higher power or succumb to the earthly body and the programming and matrices that we had become a part of. And I feel this happening more deeply now than ever. I feel like throughout time we've had these choices, and we could evolve or we could stay asleep. And or they're telling me now also some that chose to evolve had chosen to go back to sleep, or things had gotten too hard, or they just weren't able to continue the journey. Something shifted them out. And so now we're in this presence again, this presence of deep surrender. And light workers, the light workers who have been working through this, who have been in deep surrender, the light workers who have been in deep surrender for the past few years, it has not been easy, y'all. We have been growing through it big time. And I know that there is exhaustion, there is fatigue, there is just a sense of feeling like we're over it. Things, we're still waiting. And with this full moon and the illumination that just happened with the full moon, I believe it was the Aquarius full moon in Leo, yes. With this full moon, what was illuminated through it was the activation and the determination to continue forward. So we're going to be continuing on that journey. And for those of us who have continued to surrender, who have trusted in a higher power, things are shifting for us, and we're coming fully into the light. And there are going to be a lot of things that are going to change very quickly for the better, and lots of new opportunities coming in. However, for those that have either chosen to go back to sleep or have chosen not to wake up, there is going to be some rude awakenings that are coming. So what that means is devastation on a grand scale. That means Mama Nature coming with some rage to take back, what was taken from her. So we may see some big storms. We may see casualties, they're telling me, in those storms. And they're also reminding me that what happens without, so happens within. So you may have friends or family members or people that you are still acquainted to or energetically attached to, who are growing through these, I'm going to call them, they're trying to give me a better word. Let's just say regeneration. So like as Mama Earth is regenerating for herself, those that have not woken up, those who have chosen to not raise up into higher vibrations, they are going to start to see this. So I'm getting a lot of clients now. I'm hearing from a lot of people where entire families are experiencing dis-ease and chronic dis-ease, more so than ever. There's a lot that is coming up and imploding in the body. A lot of new, they're like, just say it. I didn't want to say it, but they're telling me just say it. A lot of new cancers, a lot of new illnesses, a lot of stuff that was not purged through the body, or lessons that were not learned and have continued to build up in the body, are going to be coming into the physical now. So we're going to see a lot of people that get really sick, unfortunately. I don't like those words. Cancel, clear. growing through purifications. In their mind, in a lower vibration, it's going to feel like sickness, like illness, maybe even like death. But it is the death and the rebirth so that they too can have that choice to surrender to a higher power. So the reason I'm telling you all this, because I don't feel like that part resonates for those of you listening. However, I do feel like you are possibly still in connection with family, friends, acquaintances, people that you are going to need to be around that are experiencing these things. And so it's going to be so important to hold space and to stay in your light. And also, they're telling me fight fire with fire. And what they mean by that is not being aggressive or boisterous is the word they're giving me. And also giving people their energy back. It's time we give people their energy back. So whatever people are dumping on you, or I'm going to use the word dumping because that's like the best way to say it. It's like when people come to you and they dump all of their problems and energy on you, and then you have to, you're feeling a certain way, or you feel heavy or dense because you're processing through all of their shit. Now that time is over, y'all. So we've shifted out of that. And now immediately you may notice yourself being sharp with people, or now they want me to tell you the difference. This is not reactionary. This is not you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you back. That's reactionary. This is you're throwing your fire at me, and I'm holding up a mirror and it's going right back at you. So it's nothing that's coming from us. It's us holding up that mirror to them so that they can receive whatever it is that they're trying to dump off on us. Now, I had this situation with a family member many years ago, or a few years back, and it was just a family member who liked to call and tell me about the rest of the family and all of the drama and everything going on in their lives. And I had to start to set some boundaries. And even when I told this family member, look, I'm not interested in hearing everyone's drama. I don't want to be a part of this. Please keep me out. Like, unless it's something that brings joy, I really don't need to be involved in anyone else's life who's not involved in mine. And I meant that genuinely, and they still didn't understand. So they were still coming and inundating me with information about other people's lives that I didn't want to carry anymore. And so I got to the point where before as this person was calling, I would look at my phone, see that they were calling, and I would energetically put a shield up around the phone so that whatever they said to me would be reflected back to them, and I no longer had to walk away from their phone calls carrying all of the shit that they picked up from everyone that they're around. Now, if they choose to do that, that's on them. I'm making the conscious decision to not do that anymore. And I feel like those of you that are listening to this, some of you, Spirit telling me not all, but some of you need that same kind of protection, mirrored type energy where you are absolutely sending it back to the sender, return to sender. Okay, and then we also have a shift that's happening. They're telling me with the surrender. So can you go deeper into that, Spirit, please? What with the surrender? They're just saying it's getting to a point where you're either going to trust or you're not. And I've said this recently in some of my last videos that I finally have shifted out of the energy of belief. Now, before I would often say like, well, I do believe, I believe. And then Spirit came to me and they communicated with me in an interesting way. And I received the message. And from then on out, I understood that belief is a mind struct. Belief is something that is created in the mind. Trust, however, comes from a higher power. So when we are trusting, when we know, we have that inner knowing, we don't need to believe that something is going to happen. We can fully trust that everything is happening exactly as it needs to be. And from that space, you know, we start to attract the things that are in our vibration. So those of us who are light workers, who have been, you know, in and out of the shadows and have embraced the shadow and have come into harmony with our highest self, now we get all of that goodness and joy and love and gratitude and peace and all of that back. So we start radiating that energy out when we are fully in trust and knowing exactly what we are experiencing is what we are creating. Now, with that being said, what we are experiencing is what we are creating with our minds, with our words. So what you are thinking, what you are telling yourself, what you are telling others, what you are thinking of others is absolutely coming true. Now, I'll tell you, it's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at. However, I have finally come into a space where the moment I want to judge someone or I want to look at someone as if they are different from me, immediately I am struck with compassion and allowing the energy of allowing them to be on their journey and them allowing me to be on mine. So perhaps this is something that you've been working on, getting more into compassion for self, compassion for others, and fully understanding and trusting that everything that is happening right now in Earth Realm is divine. We are shifting into higher frequencies. Our bodies are regenerating. And for those of us who have done the work, the regeneration process, we felt through those emotions. They've been heavy and deep and sad and angry and all of the things. We've done the work. And for those who unfortunately have not done the work, maybe because of fear or just not opening up to, you know, the universe, the higher powers of what there is out there that's so much more than just here in Earth Realm, you know, their bodies are regenerating differently. So have compassion with each other. Be kind to one another, no matter what someone is growing through. And we never know their story. If people tap out or they fall off, there's a reason for that. Either they are no longer in your vibration and that served as purpose from a higher source, or they're growing through their own stuff and maybe not wanting to pull you in with them, or sometimes they just need a timeout, y'all. I've needed many timeouts where I've pulled away from the people close to me so that I could go deep within self. So don't take it personally if you are not hearing from certain people. And if you are and you're feeling like you need to set some energetic boundaries, please do so. Energetic hygiene is important, especially right now. You know, this last weekend I had many clients that came through that were in need of energetic hygiene. So protecting your energy and not to the point where you're putting up a protection because you're in fear or you're scared. So I guess protection is not the word, but being in your light so much so that anything that's not in that light cannot interfere or intervene at the level you're at. Okay, what else do we have? Spirit. They want me to disconnect for the moment, so I'm going to disconnect and then I will see how they want me to follow up and then jump back on. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Spirit told me that that was a sacred pause that was needed. And I asked if it was just for me, and they said no, it was for the collective. The collective needs these moments of pause where we can come back into the breath and come back into the body and fill into the gratitude for the journey and everything that we've been through. Now, during that time, they also wanted me to pull some cards from my new Galactic Star Tarot that I got a little while back. And the cards that came through, y'all, are amazing. So let me share these with you. The first one is Ace of Discs, and I'll show you this card here. Okay, so this is new beginnings, fresh starts, good things coming in. I'm hearing prosperity. The jewels, they're pointing out like this jewel here, and it's reaching above the sky, right? Remember I had said the sky is not the limit, that we don't need to limit to ourselves to that space. So they're showing you her reaching up out of that space, that there's so much more out there. So it's those of you who have opened up and are ready for that next level. This is what we're coming into the creation energy of being in co-creation with the creator, with the source, and fully embodying that and living our lives through that divinity of co-creation. Okay, and then we have, from there, we have the world card here. And the world card came through, and perhaps those numbers are significant for you, the 4 and the 2. But what they're telling me with this card is that you've leveled up. You've made it. You're here. Congratulations. If you're still listening to this reading, you have leveled up. You have stepped into that next level, and things feel different. It feels like a lot more presence. It feels joyful. It feels, I'll tell you, I've been in gratitude for the past 3 days. Just gratitude all day for what I have, where I've been, where I'm from. I've had gratitude for everything. So maybe you're feeling that too. That is part of this leveling up, that getting into the next vibration. And also this energy of, it's like a baby, a baby being, I'll say, that is watching over, and there's this connection between, they're telling me, the galactic babies that are coming in. So these are ascended masters. These are galactic beings who have experienced transitions on other in other realms and are coming in to help. That they are getting closer. There's this stretch here, and they're getting closer to actually being able to come into creation in physical form. So if you are waiting on a baby, on a pregnancy, if you're pregnant and you've been waiting on the baby to arrive, or babies to arrive, or if you are in the energy where you've been waiting on pregnancy and you've been through it all, they're telling me, like through some shadows, through some uh ancestry healing, and you feel like you are ready for that next level. That next level has happened. You are leveling up. So I'm hearing a lot of conception is going to be happening. And this also has to do with birthing something new, birthing something that is unique to you. So coming up with a new creation, and gifting your creations to the world is what I'm hearing. Okay, and then we had the 3 of Cups. And this energy tells me it's we are in control of our minds. There is no, from here on out, those of you who have just gone through this level up, and if you're still listening to this, you likely are one. No, you are definitely. Spirit's like, no, they are. If they're still listening, if you're still listening to this message, you have leveled up, and you are in this space where you have taken back full control of your mind, and nothing and no one can come in and cause you to tap out of it, to disconnect, to believe in something that is untrue. They cannot separate you from your connection with source, with the creator, and with this embodiment that you have with your highest self. So moving forward, you are the creator. What is it that you're creating? Are you still creating scarcity, or are you creating abundance and love and joy and gratitude and authenticity? All right, the next one we have is the Lovers. And I love this card because, oh, a star sister and myself and my husband have really been working hard. And I actually just found out in the past few days that another star sister, galactic sister, has been working on this as well. But the shift in the unions, the coming together of these powerful unions that have not either have not been in connection in the physical yet, or for some reason were separated. That is shifting now. They're coming into union. And the upgrades, oh my goodness, I had so many people in the last 2 weeks that have told me, that Spirit has told me, and I've channeled for, that have said they just went through this divine upgrade for soulmate unions, for love connections, and it feels really good, y'all. And what they're telling me now is that you see that little dragon right above. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of a little blurry. I will post the picture. That the unions are what's unlocking the dragon energy. Now, there are some amazing beings, some who I've connected with in the physical, and I have so much gratitude for these beings that have been connecting and working with the dragons for a long time already. And now with the unions coming together, they are just coming to the next level. Everything is stepping up. So we are going to start to hear more about truths. We are going to hear more about the truths of the dragons versus the dinosaurs. So maybe that's something you haven't tapped into, and you can go down that rabbit hole. But there's a lot more truths that are coming in, and the dragons are rising, right? I had said this about ancient Egypt, that ancient Egypt is a frequency of vibration that we get back into, and we're getting closer to that vibration. And I feel like it's the same for the dragons. We have reawakened the earth dragons. This is channeled. We have reawakened the earth dragons through these unions that have upgraded and are coming together in the physical. So breathe into that, because this is going to be a very powerful shift for the collective. And yes, this is what's coming in, the 9 of discs. Look at that, abundance, so fruitful. Look at all of these discs. They're like flowers blossoming around her. And it's like, what's done is done. What's been said has been said. And it's like she's got this crown of galactic energy watching over her. She's connected with this. Is this a parrot? Yeah, they're telling me that the energy of the bird is connecting with other realms. So opening up to new gifts. I've been saying this for a while for a few of you, but it's, I feel like, really starting to take flight. So you're starting to connect telepathically with those around you, not just the people that are you're super close to. So my husband and I have been connecting telepathically for probably a good 6 months, if not longer than that. And recently I noticed that I started connecting telepathically with a star sister as well. So this energy is, it's taking us up to that next level. And now it's time for us to rest, to play, to really bask in the light of all of it. All right, so anything else, Spirit, that you have since you brought these galactic cards through? They just said, I just keep hearing level up, level up, level up, level up. Yes, we've leveled up. So thank you those of you who have been tuning in for these messages. The energy feels fantastic. And let's talk specifically this week moving forward. Okay, so moving forward through this week, they're still bringing through the breath, y'all. The breath is so important. And I just saw something recently that talked about the transition space that we're moving through, and how important it is to be in breath and be in body. And have gratitude for the body, right? The body is what anchors us to this earth realm. And without the body, we wouldn't be able to have the same experiences that we do. So, so much gratitude to the body. وشني فنانا فتتتاش كتتفهمنا تتتي شكتيانا فتبنو شونني أرتتتا فتمنا كتتي سكتيانا يندا فتمنا كشتيانا أرفتمنا كتتي سكتيانا فتمنا كتوتو مننا. All right, this week is going to be loaded with galactic energy. If you can get out underneath the stars, pay attention to those ships that are moving in the sky. We are receiving downloads from them. The waters have calmed, they're telling me, yet they're still very powerful. So if you can get into natural waters, that's going to be really good as well. And what was that last thing, Spirit? Can you bring that back, please? They're saying night walks specifically. I feel like getting under the moon. Now, my husband and I were out in the sun yesterday. You can tell I got some sun. And last night we got to this point where we were so hot. And we went outside and just laid underneath the moon, and it was the most calming, cooling feeling. And when we rose up today, we didn't feel as hot or as red from the sun as we did. So bathing in that moonlight is so important right now. You do still want to receive the sun codes and the codes through the water, but the moonlight is what is amplifying things right now. So if you're able to get out under the moon, I highly recommend it. And pay attention to those stars. Look up, see what's going on up there. Pay attention to what's going on, because what I've heard, I notice a lot of ships in the night sky, spaceships in the night sky. And I've had this gift for many, many years, and I've never really knew what it was. I just was curious and thought it was fun to find these ships and watch them, move throughout the night sky and go through their portals. And what Spirit is telling me now is that every time I connect with one of those, I'm receiving galactic downloads from them. So it's helped me with my ascension and helped me continue to shift and surrender as quickly as I have. Now, as I say that, I saw 333. So divine messages. Pay attention to those synchronicities. They are messages that tell you, yes, this is in truth, you're on the right path. Things are moving the way that they need to be moving. Okay, anything else for the next several days before we move into the next set of Moonday messages? Breathe. Yeah, they keep bringing this breath in, y'all. I feel like this breath is going to be so important to help with these transitions. So make sure that you are taking moments to stop, connect with your body, breathe into it. Do a full body breath where you imagine the breath moving all the way down into your feet, connecting with Mama Earth, and then coming all the way back up and into the ether, connecting with Father Sky. It's going to be so powerful to be in that energy. So if you can do some type of breath work every day, you are going to benefit from it. Of course, I saw 444 as I said that. And if you can't actually do like the physical practice every day, if you feel like you're just stretched too thin, you don't have time, you're tired, whatever they are telling me, they are excuses, whatever the excuses are, which is okay. It's okay. They're like, you don't have to feel bad about having excuses. Then at least, I had this recommendation that a star sister taught me, was put on a song that you enjoy and just breathe consciously through the entire song. In through your nose, out through your nose, or in through your nose, out through your mouth. It doesn't have to be any kind of elevated breathwork practice. It really is just bringing breath into the body and being mindful of it. And then connect with, they're saying like the those that have tapped into the music realm and are doing creating music and are doing toning and frequencies, connect with that It is going to help move through any, they're not telling me blockages anymore, but anything they're showing me this veil. This is, I'm not quite sure how to put it into words. I guess anything that's veiling the words that you speak to be in your authenticity. And as I say that, I see these two beautiful little hummingbirds just chasing each other, which I've never seen hummingbirds do that before. So also pay attention to the animals, the creatures, the space around you, because there are so many divine messages that are coming through the animal kingdom, through insects, through nature. So maybe even this is a message for you to get out in nature and enjoy that space. All right, anything else we need, Spirit, before we wrap this up? No, it sounds like that's it. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll look forward to connecting with you next time. Take care. Adios.